Welcome friends. If you are against the invasion of Ukraine and want to support our work with my team, you can like this. Take some time to see what is happening at the front. Russia is rushing to Kupiansk. The Kupiansk direction is called the Second Bakhmut. Here, the Russians use their favorite tactic, meat assaults involving prisoners. Fighting continued in the Kupiansk-Kreminna-Lyman triangle. Since January, Russia has been trying to fully occupy Luhansk region and advance on the lost territories in Kharkiv and Donetsk regions. In addition, a major railway junction is located near Kupiansk, in the village of Kupiansk-Vazlovyi, and the railroad is a logistical artery for Russian troops. Currently, the Azov regiment has been redeployed to Kreminna. It is possible that this was done so that after the Russians weaken in this area, Ukraine will start attacking their positions, as it did in the Bakhmut area. By the way, a very vivid video was shown by the soldiers of the 92nd Brigade. An Achilles attack drone, at a place where two T-80 tanks had already been destroyed, hit a Russian breakthrough tank, AT-90 breakthrough. This road is actually a dumping ground for equipment. This is obviously a tough spot for the Russians, but they are stubbornly and fiercely pressing on Kupiansk. Now let's see what is happening in the Mariinka sector. The Russians simply wiped out the town of Mariinka in Donetsk region, but failed to capture it. Fierce fighting continues here as well. Defense forces continue to hold back the Russian offensive. In the Zaporizhzhya sector, Ukrainian troops may have overcome Russian minefields north of Tokmak. This assumption was made by American journalists from CBS News. The newspaper emphasizes that one of the goals of Ukraine's counteroffensive is to move south through powerful Russian fortifications to retake Melitopol, which is called the gateway to Crimea. This city is an important transportation hub for the Russians. On the way to Melitopol, the Ukrainian military must liberate the city of Tokmak, which is an important barrier. A United States official told CBS News on Thursday that Ukrainian troops have passed through a Russian minefield north of Tokmak, and are now engaging the first line of Russian defense holding the city, the newspaper said. The day before, The Washington Post wrote that American intelligence believes that the Ukrainian counteroffensive will not achieve its key goals, namely the liberation of Melitopol, because even regaining control of the intermediate Tokmak is a difficult task, given the three Russian defense lines through Tokmak to Melitopol and Crimea. The Hill writes that one of the key points that could force Russian President Putin to the negotiating table is the entry of the Ukrainian armed forces into the Crimean Peninsula. According to the newspaper, in order to really threaten Crimea and create isolation, Ukrainian forces need to move towards strategically important cities such as Melitopol, Armyansk, and Skadovsk. According to the media, in order to pose a threat to Crimea from Melitopol, it is necessary to first recapture the occupied Tokmak. It is estimated that more than 90,000 Russian troops are currently stationed in the area. Further, in the Zaporizhzhya sector, the Ukrainian armed forces penetrated the enemy's defense near the settlements of Verbove, Robotyne, and Kopany. The Institute for the Study of War suggests that Russian units may have retreated from the village of Robotyne. Ukrainian defense forces hold positions in the northeastern part of the village. Analysts say that the Russian defense has weakened significantly. Since Robotyne village is located on the Melitopol section of the Zaporizhzhya direction, its liberation will also open the way to the occupied Tokmak. The German Zeit newspaper reminded that in the south, the defense forces liberated the village of Eurozhain and came close to Robotyno. And then information was received from Eurozhain about the breakdown of a Ukrainian convoy of military and equipment near the village. The footage showed a convoy of the 37th Separate Mechanized Brigade, which was tasked with moving from Eurozhain to Kermanchik. All along the way, the Russians were watching this convoy, and no Ukrainian artillery training is visible in the photo. It is not yet known why the convoy was traveling without cover, virtually in one direction. If this is a military mistake, the cost is high. Active work of the defense forces continues in the Tauride sector. After a successful raid by the Ukrainian military near the village of Kozarchi Lagary on the left bank of the Dnipro, Russia began actively moving reserves from the Zaporizhzhya front to this area. This was also facilitated by the recent advance of the Ukrainian armed forces on the islands north of Korsunka. By the way, the Russian rear is not quiet either. 2 planes are burning at the Soltsy air base in the Novgorod region, presumably because of a drone strike. This base is the home base for 2 22M3 strategic bombers. This is a strategic multi-mode supersonic missile carrier bomber designed to hit targets in enemy territory. The cost of one such aircraft reaches $450 million. And finally, we offer you to watch the video showing the capture of Russian positions and the destruction of their equipment by an FPV drone. If you like this episode, please like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment about the information in this episode. That's all for today. Thank you for watching and see you soon.